Mr. Wayne Redfern reports. So those are some things that are happening. As you said, I do think we see some activity. What are some other things that you're working on for Newberry, please, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. I know, Mayor, you and your staff have put a extreme emphasis on grocery. I know your citizens want some other grocery options. We're working diligently as much as we can to continue to put Newberry in front of these grocery brands. There are a handful of brands that are growing within South Carolina, and we're having conversations. Right now, they're not quite ready to pull the trigger on Newberry, but we're staying in front of them. I know you and the county have done a great job of putting together a package, an incentive package to help with the developer or with the end user grocer. That's a great tool that we can have. If there's a brand that's not quite sure if they want to pull the trigger on Newberry, we can say, hey, well, the city's gone above and beyond to try to create an environment that you can be successful. So that's a great tool that we have. Go ahead.
Yep. Well, the county has put in a very good incentives, you said, on property taxes, and the city has put in economic on utilities. And so I know we're out there, and as the grocery stores are going to the kind of the same places they've been going. They're kind of congregating in the boom towns, boom service, like a Lexington, maybe a Simpsonville or something like that. But I know that we talk about this all the time as the citizens of Newberry would like to see another grocery store, and we appreciate continued efforts, and maybe these new homes that are being built in our area are going to help there. Now, you also have been working on a fast food restaurant. If you could talk about that a little bit, please, sir.
Yeah, so the category of quick service restaurants, get a little feedback. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay. The fast food restaurant has been a good category throughout COVID. With the drive-through, that's how families can quickly and conveniently get food for their families. So we're continuing to go after the hamburger concept. It's been in the works for a while. They'll be Main and Main there at Newberry. I think they've pulled permits and have begun the construction process.
Right, and Jeff, they have not pulled permits. And you are breaking up a little bit, but the one you're talking about, you've worked on is Cookout, which is looking at the Tractor Supply location in that parking lot. So we're excited about that. And they are doing some engineering work. And it's interesting, Jeff, you will tell these that you work on these like a couple years. And then we do hear about it. It takes a little while. These things don't happen overnight. But that's another one you've worked on. And we hope to hear some good news in the next few months about Cookout as well. Jeff, you also have identified one thing you told us when you visited in November. There are a lot of good little national smaller chains out there looking for space. And from your position, you said that people want to be near Walmart. At least some of the national chains do. They just like the traffic. And so you have talking to some of our developers about building a new little small center in Newberry, similar to the one between Dunkin' Donuts and Walgreens. Could you talk about that a little bit, please?
Yes, sir. That's correct. The trend now is multi-tenant buildings. Have one side have a drive, patio space. And so we've worked with one of your local citizens to put a rendering together. We're getting some feedback on that. And we'll be right near the Walmart. And we're actually using a new software that helps us pull regional brands, looking for restaurants. And so we've got some good positive feedback, and that's a priority we'll be working on the next couple months.
All right, great. And so just understand that hopefully down the road, across from or down from Wendy's and across from the car wash, there'll be a little small center, we hope, similar to what holds Dunkin' Donuts center. And Jeff has some ideas there for a company. All right, Jeff. So we have some good new things we've worked on since last year that have come to fruition. Popeyes is nearing fruition. You worked on that one. Harbor Freight. We're excited about Big Lots. We hope to hear from Cookout down the road. You're working on grocery stores. Of course, that is everybody's number one priority. And then something you emphasize to us every time you come is shopping local, because that helps get other brands and helps all our stores. How about talk about that as we wrap up, please?
That's exactly right, Mayor. I said it last year. I'll say it again. Your citizens have to vote with their dollar, meaning they have to spend money locally because the national brands, they take that information, and if they see that the sales figures are strong with the current brands there, that means they want to come locate there. I know it's tempting to drive elsewhere, and sometimes you have to, but the more you all can spend money locally, that just helps create more synergy and activity for new brands to come to your market.
Well, and that's the stores you talk to, they ride through Newberry and check out the parking lots and the sales figures, do they not?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. They want to be next
All
to
right.
their competition and they want to see other brands doing well locally.
Great. All right. Well, that's something we've always encouraged. It goes a long time back, Jeff. When I was growing up, shot Newberry County first, and we continue to encourage people to do that, helping our small businesses and our national businesses where we have local folks working. And I love what you say. It helps us get more businesses in both categories. Jeff, thanks for all you do for Newberry. Again, you're an honorary citizen thanks to your work in Starbucks. And we'll be able to give you a second star maybe by this time next year with some other work you're going to do for us over the next year. Jeff, thank you so much and good luck to your Auburn Tigers.
Thank you so much. Bye, Mayor.
All right. And we appreciate Jeff joining us. We're going to have I want to give a brief update from Jeremy Knight, who is the South Carolina DOT resident engineer. Jeremy sent us some good information. First of all, DOT locally did a great job in Newberry County during the storms with the sand on the roads and the brine and just keeping all our pathways, our roadways clear. Jerry reports, and this is good news, there's going to be more road work done in Newberry and across the state. He says the initial gas tax increase in 2017 has been increased annually. And he writes, I've seen a tremendous increase in projects on our primary and secondary road system, and I'm excited to see so many road improvements in Newberry County. Some things coming up he reports on. You all know Boundary Street Bridge is closed for a major project. That current completion date is December of 2023. So it's going to take a couple years, but the good news is that's a 75-year solution if it's like the last bridge. I-26, of course, is being widened. There will be a new stoplight at 219 at I-26. You know how when you come out from Columbia, it's hard to see right there. By late spring, DOT was going to put a stoplight at that corner coming from Columbia and coming from Greenville-Spartanburg. There'll be stoplights on both ends. Jeremy reports some of the repavings that will be coming up this year across the county, and I'm going to do the whole county report, include South Carolina 56 in the Chapels area, Pender Ridge Road, Walker Road, Indian Creek Road, Jalapa Road, and my favorite, Main Street, Newberry. That will be repaved in early summer from Wilson Road all the way through downtown to Nance Street. Other projects we were working on are US 176 near the Richland County line and South Carolina 34 Silver Street to Greenwood. Streets working with DOT and the County Transportation Committee include King, Queen, and Divine off Bush River Road, Gillum, Heron, Evans, and Feaster in Whitmire. The Island Ford Road will start this summer off to the Belfast Road, which is badly needed, being from that area originally, I can tell you that. Dr. Bowers Road in Prosperity, Circle, Connolly, School Drive will all be done in Prosperity, and then some other projects from Mount Pilgrim, Mayor, and Mendenhall. But overall, we all know our roads need a lot of work, but the good news is the gas tax is starting to have some effect, and DOT and the County Transportation Committee are all going to be getting more roads paved both this year and in the coming years ahead. That's our first segment, and Jimmy Coggins, we're going to take a break now, and thank you all for joining in. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Okay. I heard a couple of dings. We cut the dings off. Phones.
I got people texting me saying they can't get into that stuff.
Who's on after me?
Lamont's gonna have to come here because his link, the same link that everybody else used to get on, won't work.
Is he going to come here?
He said he is.
Okay. All right.
So that's, you got that resolved then?
No, we didn't get it
All I'm
resolved.
saying,
He's coming, yeah.
Well, Matt, you need to go ahead and come step up here and be ready. And you want me to lead you in with the questions, or you just want to go from one to one?
I can just go from one to the next.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell the. How'd that sound, Jeff? Okay, and thanks for keeping it way down because it kind of throws me off. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate it. We are back here at City Hall and going to continue on. A couple other building activity updates from Wayne Redfern, our building official. He says that Home to Suites, which is the hotel beside the Holiday Inn Express, the interstate, they have, they stopped during COVID, and we expect them to start back in the next couple of months. So that will be a big deal to have a new hotel in Newberry. Also at the interstate, Love's Truck Stop is having some renovations and additions, and that construction is starting. And then Wayne reports that Newberry Landing, which is a subdivision off Smith Road, y'all seen that be a big success. And D.R. Horton, which is a national builder, they have secured permits and started to work on 19 new houses at Newberry Landing. So it's very interesting to me, being a native Newberryan, to have a national builder come to Newberry. That's something new to the best of my knowledge. And so D.R. Horton will be building 19 new houses in Newberry Landing. We're going to be joined live right here at City Hall, and then he's going to take over the podium. Matt DeWitt, our city manager. I've asked Matt to speak on utility updates, some news there. And then also the city has made a great effort over recent years to improve our parks. And I hope everyone has enjoyed those, and we're going to continue to make that effort in the coming year. Matt, thanks for joining us today, and I appreciate your update on utilities and city parks.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning, Newberry. Mayor just touched on some road work that's going to be taking place on Main Street, and I'll start there with our Main Street water line replacement. The city's utility department will begin work here in the coming weeks on the water line replacement on Main Street. You've probably seen some of the project staging there at the old Observer location. We have bid that project out competitively, and Tom Brigman Contractors has received the winning bid. The notice of award was issued on December the 7th. The notice to proceed was issued February the 1st. And the contractor is in, again, compiling his materials and getting ready to start that work as we're having this conversation. So if there's any concerns or complaints by customers during this process, we ask that you please reach out to the city of Newberry so we can address those. And the city will be performing the final walkthrough with DOT at the end of the project to sign off on everything. So we're excited about the water line replacement. We're excited about the repaving of Main Street. We're gonna have a much more enhanced entranceway into our downtown, and that's exciting. The next thing we're talking about is another corridor leading into Newberry, and that's the College Street corridor. And you'll see that the Utilities Department has been upgrading the water tank there on College Street. This has been some much needed maintenance that we needed to pursue, and it includes sandblasting and the repainting of the exterior and interior of the water tank on College Street. We've also installed additional valves, which will help with controlling the filling and emptying of the tank. And we'll also have the cables and antennas that you tend to see on those water tanks redone, so that it's a much more visually appealing water tank more done. So those are two major updates with the city utility department. Moving on to park updates, I've got 3 quick updates on PRT, 2 parks and 1 facility update. The first one is the Wells Japanese Gardens. We have completed phase 1 renovations with the pond renovations and some new plantings, but we still have a phase 2 that's about to get underway, and that will probably begin in late March or early April. And this will include walkways, fencing, entrance gates, and signage at the Japanese Gardens to sort of give it that finishing touch, that polish that it needs to sort of be completed. So we're excited about a major upgrade at the Japanese Gardens getting completed in this fiscal year. Another project that we're pursuing with LWCF grant funds is the Y Street Park renovation. Demolition bids have already been received, and most of the demo has taken place at Y Street Park to make way for the new improvements. The playground bids were due on February 3rd, and we have received those. And the next bids that we'll be sending out will be for asphalt services. So we're moving along with Y Street Park. The year prior, you'll notice we did enhancements on the shelter and trail system there at Y Street Park as well. The last update I'll give you is on the Arts Center. The Arts Center is going to be moving in the coming months and years to the Observer location that used to be the Observer location will now turn into the city's Art Center. The city has already started doing demolition on the old print press and has started to remove that from the back of the building. We've done asbestos review expecting to receive that report back this week. And Michael Kahn Architecture is going to be presenting a plan on doing interior renovations to the building to get it up to where we need it to be for the city's art center. So those are my updates from City Utilities and PRT. Thank
Very
you.
good, Matt. Matt, thank you very much. And one thing is, I think your report, just like Jeremy Knight's on DOT, is people are making things happen. And whether that's business, like Jeff's talking about, Jeff Summer, or our government agencies with repaving projects for the city of Newberry, getting things done in utilities, parks, or across the board. A lot of good things going on. And Matt, and one other thing we'll be doing this year, of course, is the capital project sales tax is coming up. And the city's going to be submitting one proposal to expand or do some new features at the Newberry Recreation Complex. It's been a big hit. So we're going to propose expanding the Gully Washer Splash Park, a paved walking trail, a miracle field for children and adults with disabilities and special needs, and a skateboard park. And so we're excited about that, present that in March, and hopefully capital project sales tax will be something you'll be watching and paying attention to, and we'll work out in the coming year. We are now glad to be joined by our Police Chief, Kevin Goodman. Chief Goodman, thanks for joining us. You just, well, not quite finished, but you are just about heading towards the finish line of your first year on the job. You've just done an outstanding job taking over for Chief Roy McClurkin. You are a career Newberry City staffer, and you have just come on and done a great job, you and your staff. How about talk a little bit about your first year on the job, please, Chief Goodman, and thanks for joining us on today.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me this morning. First of all, Mayor, I'd like to thank you, City Council, and City Manager Matt DeWitt for this opportunity to lead this department. It's been a great first year. This is a very resilient department, and by God's grace, we've been able to weather some early storms, and we're doing good and hopeful for a brighter, even better 2022. When I came into this position at a time when relationships between law enforcement and communities was under some scrutiny considering recent events. So my focus coming in was for this department to close that gap, starting with our little corner of the world right here in Newberry. So we adopted a model called relationship-based policing, which focuses on building relationships with the community rather than just partnerships, working in collaboration with the community and creating an atmosphere of trust between the police and the community that we serve. And the thought behind this model, Mayor, is in a relationship, the parties share a greater commitment to each other. Two groups establish a bond of trust, which is called upon, and unsettling incidents cause tension between them. So in a relationship, the interests of both parties are directly connected to each other's investments and well-being. And it allows the police and the community to work together, work through issues that previously would cause us to be a us versus them kind of mentality to find a common solution. So we did things such as we joined forces with Serve and Connect groceries, where we handed out boxes of food throughout the community for the people in need. We've joined forces with DSS during the holidays to adopt adults and children to give them so they can have a good holiday season. We joined with Newberry Middle School this year to hand out boxes of food to the needs. I went out to Newberry High School and started a program called Teens and Police. I meet with teens about twice a month for 30, 45 minutes, and we talk about life after high school, the many different challenges in their teen years, along with problem-solving methods. And what we spend a lot of time on is creating positive interaction between the police and the community. Part of that, my first year here, I started sponsoring a youth basketball team this year. So I did that, and that's age group from 14 to 18. And so we try to go out and spend some time with them and create that positive interaction. Thanks to council, city manager, the police department was able to complete their first ever 5-year strategic plan, so we can identify some of our strengths and our weaknesses and kind of give us a roadmap on where we need to go to make this department even better. So it's been a busy first year.
That's what I was thinking. Boy, you have done a lot. And I do know that you are all about relationships. You probably know more you and the Sheriff Lee Foster probably know as many people in Newberry County more than anybody. And I know you are very approachable. Your staff's very approachable. And so I appreciate you building on that. One thing I know you're looking for, Chief, you want to talk about real briefly, are new officers. And talk about that real briefly, please, sir.
Well, we are looking for new officers. Now, I want to concentrate a lot on local talent. We have great talent right here in this Newberry, in this town, in this county, and I like to focus on trying to get some of those people to come in and help serve and protect the community that they love and they grew up in. And that will just continue to help us build those relationships with the community, because we'll have those relationships coming into the job, you know?
No doubt. And, you know, you can make a real difference in a community, especially if it's your home community, a home
Absolutely.
area.
Yes, sir.
And so, Chief, we appreciate all you. Last real quick thing, tips. I know one thing for tips for our citizens, you are always have an open line, and talk about that in 30 seconds, please, sir.
Well, one thing I like to say to the community is that you'll see me use a lot the hashtag "It Takes a Village," and I want to drive that idea that it takes all of us in every corner of Newberry to make this a safer place and make it a better place to live, work, play, and make it a city that we're all proud to call home. So I just want everybody let's come together, let's get together and continue to work great and continue to work hard to be a greater community.
Chief, well said. Thanks for all you're doing. Please pass along your thanks to our staff, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you all again.
Very good. All right, Chief Goodman. And now we're going to go to a very important person as well, Chief Keith Minnitt, who was our fire chief in Newberry. He's done an outstanding job for Newberry for many years, and he and his staff are just one of the outstanding fire departments in South Carolina. Chief, we've seen some terrible fires across the country this winter. And I know that something we always need to keep in mind. And one thing you promote very hard, you and your staff, are preventive type measures. How about talk about that, please, sir? And thanks for joining us today.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here and appreciate the opportunity to spend a few minutes with you. But yeah, you're right. If we can prevent it, we don't have to fight it. And that's one of the biggest things that with community risk reduction that we have strived for many, many years. And we've had a great smoke alarm program that we've had in place through grants and through American Red Cross Fire Safe. If you remember, about 2 years, we've been awarded the Fire Safe Community Award. And with that award, there's a lot of things that we have to do staff-wise to make sure that people have the core four. And right quick, the core four is the right alarm in the right location. We want to make sure that they have working smoke alarms, CO alarms, even to the bed shaker alarms for those that are hard of hearing, because if we want people when they have an emergency to be able to get out. Let us fight the fire, but get out. That's the most important. Having those fire drills. Number two, having those fire drills and plans in place and preparing those with their kids or grandkids, family members that come over, knowing how to get out. You've seen in the news where people have perished in fires and didn't have the proper escape. And so we want to make sure that people have that plan in place and being able to get out and stay out. Number three of the core four is fire sprinklers save lives. And we keep talking about that. And we know that as people build new homes, that's a technology. We're in a technological world today. And that's another thing that people can look at, research, and understand the importance of fire sprinklers and how they may or can save not only property, but their lives. And so that's number three of the core four. And number four is see a problem, take action. We want people that if they see something, take action, whether it's around their home with drop cords or open electrical boxes in businesses or block exits at businesses or people or places you visit. Take action. Let us know. Let us come and investigate or do an inspection, fire inspection to make sure not only the people that are in the business, that work in the business, but also, it may be your house that you want us to come inspect. And when I say inspect, it's a home safety inspection. Not that we're coming to shut people down, but coming to make sure that we put out what we see from the outside in to make sure that you or your family are safe. As Chief Goodman said, it's not only the people that live and work and play, but the people that visit here. And we want to make sure that all are taken care of.
And Chief, I had a nice couple lives in Newberry. They did some home renovations. They were senior, and they asked the fire department after that to come by and take a look to make sure that one of them had some physical challenges. and had you all evaluate it and get some tips. They found that very helpful, and I appreciated you all doing that. And it's great to know that you're on call to help people. A couple of things real quick. You partner with some schools, and I'm sure you'll partner with other schools. And then how about talk about recruitment too? You're looking for new firefighters.
Absolutely. Two quick things. I can't thank Tracy Swigert and Jalessa Johnson. Tracy's with Boundary. She got our foot in the door at Boundary Street during COVID. It changed the way we did fire prevention, and we was able to do some home safety fire patrol, which is through our fire safe program, and we were able to reach hundreds of kids with Boundary, and then moving to Gallman last year as a second school partnership. And we're hoping this year Newberry L and Newberry Academy getting to those, because again, each one reach one. If we can get in the schools and teach kids about fire safety, it's amazing. They come back, they tell their parents, and the parents are calling the teacher saying, "Hey, my daughter says sleep with the bedroom door closed. Why should I do that?" Well, because we're seeing that the fire moves fast and we want to close it off. And so it's nice to see those young kids spreading that fire prevention message, and it keeps us in contact with our community of which we serve. So that's been a great program. We're looking forward to expanding that. And yes, recruitment retention is always, if you got young people that are 14 and up, we have a junior program here at the fire department. Captain Gene Shealy, Michael Parker done an exceptional job, and staff with bringing young people in, getting them interested in the fire service, because as you well know, we're a combination department, and we have career people here, but we depend on our volunteers, not only in the city, but those around the city to help us mitigate the incident. So we're always looking for people to serve in a junior capacity, a volunteer capacity, but we do have some openings, and we're looking forward to hiring some people. As Kevin Goodman hit the nail on the head, if we can keep them at home and serve the community that they're working in, that's a big plus. And we're hoping that we can get those people in here to fill those shoes and continue to serve our people with the utmost professional service we can.
Chief Bennett, you all do that every day. And so thank you to you and your staff. Please pass along our thanks for the outstanding work. Thanks for joining us today, and have enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're going to take, yes, sir. We're going to take a break now and be back with some news from Newberry College.
That's not all. She's going to use it. Speaking, of course, yes, of course. 300 while you're speaking, 300 sticky notes. Sticky notes. Set, unmute yourself now. So my necklace over. Oh. Very dewy and
Well, thank you, Jimmy. And we are glad to be joined now by Lori Ann Summers, who is at Newberry College. She is Vice President for Institutional Advancement. And Lori Ann, when I think about 2022 and what's happening, all I got to do is ride down College Street and see there is progress there. And you all have a bunch of new things happening in 2022. I think you're going to be the construction leader this year. Thanks for joining us today, and congratulations on all the success you're having at the college. How about update us, please?
Absolutely. And I'm joined here by my colleague, Whitney Mitchell, who's going to also give us a couple of updates on a couple of projects that she's working with too. But Yes, it is a great time to be a Wolf. We're still celebrating the South Atlantic Conference Championship for our football team. So go Wolves, you know, we were going to ride that. So we are very excited. It's a great time to be at the college. But for those people who are driving down College Street, College and Evans, the first thing you will probably see is some construction that's happening on our new Nursing and Health Science Center, which is right at the corner. You've probably seen the sign there for years that says construction coming soon. Well, construction has arrived. So we're very pleased about that. It's 11,000 square feet. It is a home to our nursing and health science programs, classroom simulation labs. The groundbreaking for that building will happen in less than 2 weeks, February 21st. And we plan to occupy that building by the end of this calendar year. So that's number one. And if that's not exciting enough, speaking of our football team, we have phase 2 of the stadium project, the Fred Heron Stadium is happening. So that groundbreaking is going to be on March 12th. So that is happening. We have about 800 seats we're adding to the east side of the stadium. Some people refer to that as the visitor side, but we refer to it as the east side. And we're going to have 2 levels. There'll be a building there. There'll be game day suites that overlook, and of course, the home to our awesome athletic administration offices. As soon as that is complete, that should be completed May 2023. And as soon as that's done, we will kick off the phase 3 of Fred Heron Stadium. That will be a complete renovation of the whole stadium. Looks like that. And then here's the night view, which I think is lovely. So those 2 things are already happening. And more good news from my friend, Whitney Mitchell.
Hi, Mayor Senn. Thanks for having us. As Lorian said, we've got some great things going on, but you know, 3rd time's a charm, and lucky number 3, we're also going to ground break on a 3rd project. April 29th is our new residence hall that we'll be breaking ground on. It'll be on the site of our old tennis courts behind the AMC, the Alumni Music Center. As our enrollment continues to stream upward and we continue to have steady and increasing enrollment, we need more beds for our students. So this new residence hall will have 104 beds in it. It'll be apartment style. Each of these apartments will have 6 beds in each of the suites. They'll have 2 study rooms, and we plan to be able to occupy that for our students in the fall of 2023. And as I mentioned, the semester of groundbreakings for us will have this last one on April 29th. And we also want to let the city know, you know, in 2016, we did an economic impact study on the impact the college has on the city itself. And we found then that we were having about a $30 million impact on the city. We're in progress of doing a new impact study to see exactly what the college is offering to the city. And that will be expected to be completed sometime this calendar year. So lots of great things going on.
That is an outstanding update. I was at the college Saturday for a basketball game, women's basketball game and men's, and there were people everywhere that y'all had come to Newberry for different games and tournaments and camps. And so this is exciting news. 3 groundbreakings coming up in the next 3 months. We're going to see a lot of dirt being moved at Newberry College. And just overall, the college seems to have weathered the pandemic well as well as any college around, I believe. If you could just comment on that briefly, please.
Well, earlier in the program, you talked about the city being resilient. The college is also part of the city. We love our city, and we have been able to do that as well. Our enrollment's been steady, you know, trying to adjust, make adaptations to our classes and to our athletics programs. Some people know that we built a brand new alumni field near the Alumni Music Center because all of our sports played in one semester last fall when we didn't play in the fall. So resilient, make it work, adapt. You know, there's our president, Sharon's, who is our beloved president, often comments that challenge is just a way to see a new opportunity. And we have held that close and through some good, bad, and ugly, but we've held it close, and we're very, very proud to be part of the city of Newberry.
Well, that was great. And y'all given a great update today. One thing I think people are starting to get out more, and we need to kind of see people. And you all have NCAA contest pretty much every week. There's different games people can go to get out. The music department will have their music programs later this semester. And I know y'all are always encouraging people. I think that's a great way to keep your mind fresh, whether you want
Yes.
to take in something culturally or athletically. I know you all always make our community so welcome. So Lorianne and Whitney, y'all have given a great up-to-date. Congratulations on all the success we're having at Newberry College. And we look forward to see those construction projects getting started right now. So thanks for joining us today. Appreciate y'all being here.
Go Wolves.
Thanks for your support. Go
There you go.
Wolves.
Go Wolves. I like it. I like it. All right, we're going to wrap up today. Joining us now is our Mayor Pro Tem, Lamont Glasgow, someone I rely on a great deal. And Lamont, I'm going to ask you to speak about broadband, but I did bring our trophy today that we got from the Municipal Association. And you were one of the lead pushers on council about that years ago. They said we need to bring broadband fiber to Newberry. And you were always a champion of that and helped see it through. And so I know one of the things you want to talk about today was, Newberry and Newberry County, credit Newberry Electric Co-op, is, I looked it up, has the 6th most fiber of any county in South Carolina, in 46 counties. We have the 6th highest percentage of broadband fiber throughout the county, thanks to City of Newberry and Newberry Electric Co-op, in my opinion. Well, not in my opinion, that's a fact. But we want to see more people get on it, including those that may have some financial circumstances. How about talk about the federal program that's out there, please?
Hey, good morning, Mayor. Thanks a lot for allowing me to speak about this. Thank you for having this event. There's a program out there now called the Affordable Connectivity Program. The Affordable Connectivity Program is a $14.2 billion program that supports eligible low-income households struggling to afford monthly internet service. And internet service is vital to have in your home today. The benefit of this program is that it provides a discount for those who qualify. And the discount is $30 per month towards your internet bill. It also has another feature that allows an eligible household to get a discount, a one-time discount of $100 to purchase a laptop, a desktop computer, or a tablet. And they have to personally put in $10 or less than $50 to obtain this. And this is a one-time thing per household. The people who are eligible for this program has to have an income that is at or below 200% of the federal poverty guidelines, participate in certain assistance programs such as SNAP, Medicaid, federal public housing, SSI, WIC, or Lifeline. It's approved to receive benefits under the free and reduced price school lunch program or school breakfast program in the current or immediately preceding school year, receive federal Pell Grant during the current award year, or meeting the eligible.
And Lamont,
Yes.
I appreciate all those things. So it's $30 a month, and we're going to push that. You're pushing that hard because we want to see more people get internet connectivity in Newberry, especially our young families with children. And
Absolutely.
so I know you're going to be leading that. Thank you. And then nonprofits, you see them picking up space. How about give us 15 seconds on what you see out there?
Oh, people volunteer now has been fantastic through the pandemic. And I want to keep encouraging those citizens of Newberry to continue to reach out to those who are in need. There are many organizations here who we have volunteer programs. Continue to reach out to those people because assistance is needed.
Lamont, that's always emphasis area yours, which I appreciate. And that's going to wrap it up today. Lamont, thank you for coming on as always and what you do for the city. We've had some great guests today, and I hope you've enjoyed the show. And thank you for joining in. And I'd like to thank Jimmy Coggins and WKDK putting this on today, from the city of Newberry, Matt DeWitt, David Elridge, Alyssa Haven, Jeff Wicker, Jeff Summers, Chief Minnick, Chief Goodman, Lorianne Summers, and Whitney Mitchell from the college, and Lamont Glasgow, our Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you all today, and we appreciate you joining in, and let's have a great 2022.